Hello, this is going to be very interesting. So, I am going to produce a Watto page to replicate this, which is all about Lisa's new puppy, which we all know she should really have, and her partner should get a smack for not agreeing to. Now, let's see how long this takes actually, and whether I can do it without having to cheat. Let's have a look. Right, let's create a new page. Lisa puppy. I'm using a base template, by the way. Help me get your puppy is the title. I'm looking at the sketch that Lisa did on my second screen. Actually, she's got that all in capitals, so I'll do the same there. Interestingly, actually, we might have up here something that does capitalize for me. Help me get a puppy. Of course, I have no feeling here for the actual font size and layout and the feel that Lisa wants. That's okay. We can come back and have a look at that. Now, the next thing that Lisa wants to do is to effectively have the screen split in two sections there, which we can do because this is a video and this is text. We don't have to do anything special there. Let's just put the text in. In fact, what I'm going to do now, because I don't need this image here, I'm going to put my text in here, and I'm going to leave the margins and everything else as they are at the moment, and I'm going to put some text in there. Hang on a second, I'm just going to whiz off if I can press pause here. Yep, I just whizzed off to get some lorem ipsum, which is going to be very useful, and that's going to be pasted in here. Don't know whether you've seen this. I'm pasting it from another application, so it tries to format it for us, has a guess about that. So that's got the text, but actually Lisa wanted to have on the right hand side a video. So let's put a video widget in. I'll leave the URL for a moment because I don't know the URL, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that sits on the right, and I'm going to move that up to there, and by default it's added a little bit of space on the left hand side of the video there, which means that our text is really sitting nicely away from there. Lisa also had a heading, oops, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give that heading, whoops, it's quite tricky, there we go, I'm going to give that heading a font style, because I can go into my page settings and change the font styles to have them set how I wish. You'll see that actually because I hit return, the situation and this base text here has shifted, so I'm going to have to stick that now back in there somewhere so that it sits to the right of the body text rather than to the right only of the heading there. That sort of covers the first section. That's roughly it. Does that look about right? Let's see. Right, the next thing we wanted to do was to have the proof as a heading and then a row of 4 images. Okay, so let's come in here. I'm going to just space down here to give me the proof. I'm going to put that in the same font style as I did the situation, heading 2. I'm going to make that in the middle as Lisa had, and then beneath that, starting on the left. So, okay, it's moving with me because I haven't put a carriage return in there. So now that I've done that, I can go and position that in the center, and I can still be on the left, please. Here, and I'm going to insert an image, and I don't know that I've got any doggies in here. What have we got? Let's see if we can go find something that's relevant. I seem to have pretty much all the universe's images in here. Let's see if I can find something half resembling something of use. Not really, so I'm not going to waste time with this. We're going to use this one, and I'm going to have, I want to do this, you want it to have, it looks like you want to have square images and 4 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the aspect ratio. So I'll unlock that and I'll drag that up to make that a square-ish. You can see what the numbers are here relative to the image itself. So 223 and 161. Okay, what I'm now going to do is insert another image and another image and another image. We'll have some slightly different images here, and I can show you then what we're going to do here. There you go, 161 again. That's enabled me to get it to the same height. I might have to adjust that because they might not all fit in the side by side. Of course, there's a more scientific way of doing that, which is to measure the to know the number of pixels and work it all out, but I'm just doing it, I'm winging it at the moment, as they say. There's another one coming in here. Incidentally, I can select all 4 of those and load them all at once. It's a nice feature. Let's go on here, insert final image, and then we're going to have to do some fiddling around to get everyone slotted in. Okay, so let's get that down there. So that size that I had selected previously is going to be too big, so we'll make this 121 there. We'll make this one 121 like that. We can type that in, or we can use the arrows here to do that. Do that. And we'll finally do this. So there we've got our 4 things. Now I can, and that's all in line. So they're in line nicely together in a single line now. So really to space that out, all I need to do is come to this one and introduce some spacing to the right. Let's have 10 spaces to the right to start with. See what that looks like. And if I do the same with this boy, 10 there and 10 with this one. Oops. Again, you can use the keys or you can the arrows, or you can do that. So that's not bad, maybe. What I might want to do is to put that in the center. By the way, guys, anyone watching this, you'll see that my menu just disappeared, which is a bug there. However, I click back here and it's come back. So there we've got it, 4 there. You could fiddle around with that. You could make them the same size rather than slightly different size. You could make them spacing slightly differently, but we've got our 4 proof items there. I don't know why we've got a space there. Yes, there we go. So that's what I wanted to do, was to have that. There you go. A little bit better, just playing around with the spacing now. Next we want to do is to effectively have 2 lists side by side, and I just happen to know, at least I think this is correct in assuming that we can only do that if we have a table. So what I'm going to do now is insert a 2-column table. So let's go down here. In fact, I'm going to delete this lot here because we don't need that. In its place, I'm going to have a 2-column table. So this is another widget. We insert the widget just here. I don't need this column here. I've forgotten how you delete columns. So I right click, no. How do we do this? Nope, I don't click on that. Click anywhere in here. Wow, it's got me this one. I've forgotten how we do that. Oh, we come up here. That's what we do. We say there and I say remove column and do it again. And now I've got my 2 columns there. Now, what I'm going to do in here in the first column is I'm going to have the headings. I'm great with dogs. And the second heading here was, it's my God-given right. Brackets, you bastard. Oh, sorry. These want to be styled. I always find this difficult, actually. There we go. These want to be styled. Hey, folks, I've lost my menu again. What's happening there? Which may mean that I can't style them, actually, which is going to be a great shame. There we go. That's better. It's come back now. What I was going to do is I'm going to make those heading 3. We can go and change some of the things about heading 3. And you wanted those underlined. So there we go. Those are underlined. And we now have a list, which is a list of bullets, which is evidence, fact, and more evidence and more fact. And I'm just using the tab key as you would do in Word. And if we want to add a new column, a new row, we do that. New column obviously over there. We had 4 of those, and there we have the last one. And what we wanted to do, we wanted to make this lot. Hey, it's gone again, boys. Oh, it's there though. Somewhere it's there. I don't want underline. I want bullets. There it is. Okay. Okay, that's got the basic stuff done. The styling of those bullets, the styling of these things may not be ideal. I'll give you that. I can't remember offhand in the page design what we can control there in terms of text styles. Certainly we can control the headings there. And here we go, the spacing as well. So I made heading 3 the heading inside the table. So I thought that was a little bit too much at the top, too much padding up there. So let's reduce that. Let's have it sort of evenly sitting in there, 15. And let's say that the font size was okay. So now my titles there are a little bit better. This lot here, for me to do this, I think I will need to make that into a new style like heading 4, because I only have control over heading styles rather than bullet styles. So I'll make that, oh dear, it's gone again. I'll make that heading 4. Okay, and what we'll do now is we'll go back into the page design and come to heading 4. We certainly don't want 36. I think we want 4, something like that, either side of it. And I think 24 font is probably a bit too big. Let's have 16. Let's see what that looks like. So there you can see, you can play around with that, Lisa, and in fact that probably wants to be about the same sort of font size as our core, which was 16. And incidentally, you know, you might want to get some emphasis here, use a different font there. So again, you can do that from in here. We can change the font for heading 4. If I could change the font, looks like I can't change the font there. It's not actually a drop down, folks. Hello. I'll change that down to 16 anyway. That's got a line height of 16, which is much the same as the default text there. So there you go. So that's that. Still got a bit too much space in there, but hey, I'm finessing this. You can do that. I'm just interested actually why on heading 4, if I make that no spacing there, we still seem to have a column height, a row height, which is quite large. Can I actually control that from here? So inside my thing there, I've got border, nope, size, height. That's the height of the table. So it looks like I haven't got any control unless can I grab hold of that line there and drag it up? No, I can't. So I could get quite frustrated by this. Oh, by the way, I seem to have hit the center button there, which is to do with this bug there. Nope. Don't want an anchor. I'm guessing it's up here. No, it's not there. Oh, got it back. We want that on the left. Okay, right. After that little bit messing around, I think you get the drift there. We can get rid of that space now. Can I select this table and stick it in the middle? No. So that's something else that I can't do. I'd quite like to, having aligned that centrally, I'd like to align that. What I could do, if I was allowed to, as with other widgets, add some spacing to the left, I could sort of force this to go in the middle, but it still wouldn't be technically in the middle, and it wouldn't be as responsive if I did that. It would be far better if we could make the whole object center aligned, but we're not doing too badly. Let's move on to the next thing now. The next thing is that we want to have really the opposite of what we had at the top, an object followed by a list or some text. So I'm just going to save this. We've got auto save in here, by the way, now. So if you should get into trouble with page settings and you say, oh no, I've just ruined something. Where's it gone? It used to be on here. I'm sure it used to be on here. No, actually it's not here. It's at the next level up. So editor, cut that little section out. I'm talking rubbish for a change. Right, we're going to do that now, which is an image of Rick. Right, let's find something really evil for that image of Rick. There we go. Perfect. And there is Rick, and he wants to sit on the left, and we're going to add some text here, and I don't know, I've got a little buffer thing here which stores what I've put on the clipboard. So I've just added some more of that lorem ipsum, and it's quite interesting. I'm pleased it's done this because this gives me a chance to show off something else. Personally, I don't like the way that line wraps around underneath here, so I can force some spacing at the bottom of that image there to cause the text to fit there. So I've got quite a lot of control how, you know, the sort of the layout like you would expect in a newspaper for that sort of thing. As it happens though, you wanted some bullet points in here, which is fair enough. And, you know, maybe that's by way of explanation, that's good enough. We'll highlight those and we'll add bullets. Interesting there. I think that's another bug then. Guys, the bullets are showing over the image. I'll just see if I can clear that by moving those over, but I can't. So that's another bug. Or maybe that's by design, who knows. Let's take that off there. Let's move it over. Can I move it over? No, I can't move it over when it's got an image associated with it. Okay, so we need to fix that bug with the bullet points there. That's not going to help. So if I was doing this layout now and I wanted to get on with it, I'd make my own bullets, which aren't as wonderful as you might think. But like I could go, you know, do like that. There's a bullet. But I can also be a bit flash, and I could insert my own little image bullets. And I just so happen to have some in my library because I've got a bit of everything in there now. And let's have 1, 2, and 3. Select all of those, and there they go into my thingy. Okay, so now I'm going to grab hold of image number 1. Oops. By the way, these are rather large, to say the least. There we go. Let's do the same with that. Yeah. Let's make these 20 by 20. Do that with all of them. Okay, and we want to have number 2. Oh, that's a bit nasty, folks. Another thing, I can't actually, because of the little menu there, pop-up menu, I can't move that now. I can move it over here, and then I can move it over there, but I couldn't move it in one move. But hey, you know, I've found a way around it. Not the end of the world. I haven't really wanted to give up yet, by the way. Now, having done that, you can see that there's an alignment problem. So what I can do again is use the spacing here. I'll put a little bit of right spacing in there to get that spaced away. Let's say 6 there. And I can use a little trick here of putting in some negative spacing to get that aligned with the line there nicely. So that's going to have 6. And then I'm going to have some negative to bring that down so that that's horizontally, vertically aligned. And there's my thing there, and then the final one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. I might want to have that slightly bigger now, or slightly smaller, just to get that nicely aligned. There you go. That looks a little better to me. I've got a little bit of alignment there as well with what we're doing. Maybe actually those 1, 2, 3 ought to be aligned with the bullets from up here. And of course we could have made those bullets up there 1, 2, 3, or just basic image style bullets rather than that automatic bullet. And if we'd have done that, you know, that's basically the same as me now saying I'll stick. It's just the same process. It just happens to be inside inside the table cell, and then you do the trick there and off you go, but we won't bother with that now. So now what we've done is we've got Rick, what the other half says. So I've got to put that in there. So what the other half says, capitals, what the other half says, dot dot dot. And now I think I'll use that trick, by the way, of if we're going to leave that, I'm not going to play around with this for a lot, but I'm going to introduce a little bit more down there, which will push that to the side there so that I've got, you know, more blocky. But in reality, what would be better to do there would, in fact, would be to change the aspect ratio of the image, which of course you might not want to do, but it works for me here. I can do that because I'm not interested in the image. Actually makes it look much more ghastly, that. And now we can reset that down to something, I don't know, 5 pixels. And there you go. So again, we've sort of aligned things and that. I'm going to save it again. That was the second to last bit in there. How can you help? And you can see what I'm going to do next. I'm going to use those 1, 2, 3. I've got a how can you help? And I've forgotten there, I want to make that font 3, heading 3. Come on, where's heading 3 gone? It's gone. Let's save. Okay, let's refresh. F5. F5. So now I come in here. Have we got them available now? Heading 3. Wonderful. F5. How can you help? Heading 3. Lisa had that one underlined. Let's have it underlined. You know, you might want to put that, highlight that, so that people's attention are drawn to that. And here we had 3 bullets. Help me to share my appeal. Help me to share my appeal. Email Rick. So it's taking the font styling as you would in Word. Actually, I should have turned that off or started a new line with the default stuff, but we can fix that. Email Rick at email to tell him I can have my puppy, you bastard. Mysteriously drop a puppy off, that well-known expression, on my doorstep. I hope there's no sort of sexual thing there going on. Anyway, right, none of my business. There you go. We want to get rid of that highlighting. Automatic. Did I hit the button there? Yes, I did. I hit the, oops. Slightly difficult. You can't see this possibly in this recording, but I have a big circle that sits around everything whilst I'm recording for some reason. There you go. So what I'm going to do here is I want a carriage return in there, I think. No, I don't. I might want a little bit of spacing there, so I use Shift Enter to give me a small return, as it were. Again, I'm going to just put the 1, 2, 3 images in there that we've already got. It's a shame I can't copy and paste those. If I can and I'm not using that, well, it'd be something that the guys can tell me. It would be really useful to know. We did those all at 20. Let's do that one at 20. This one at, oh, no, no. This one at 20. Oh, that's interesting. So guys, I've got this one highlighted. One, it's telling me it's 20, but it's not quite clearly. Ooh, it's interesting. Can I go to 20 there? And go back here. Yeah, that's better. So it got confused because I had multiple selections, possibly. Something to do with that anyway. So there we go. I've got my 1, 2, 3. I've managed to make that one a lot smaller because I hit the thing in an attempt to do that. So 2 coming down. Oh, same problem there. Let's put that on the end. Put that on the end. 3 can go on the end here for now. No, it doesn't want to move sometimes. Needs picking up more carefully. Slight pause maybe before I move it. Pretty tricky because it's quite small as well. Select and then grab and move. Then the trick with everything, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever that spacing down there to get it in the center. Do the same with these two. God. Just think how wonderful this is now. And you know, we're going to do all of this, and of course there is no real design to this. There's a layout here, but there is no aesthetics as such in this design, and I expect that might be something that's missing. We asked you for the sketch of the layout rather than this. The other thing that you wanted to do on here was to have your Facebook, Twitter and Google stuff, and basically what we've got there is 3 images. So what I would typically do is go on the web and find a Facebook image, and you know, at some point when we get things sorted out, we'll have some images like this all already in the image library, so you don't have to come out here and do these. But I'm only going to do one of these. You'll see I'm going to save the image as. I could use the image URL, but if someone moved this image, it would then be blank. I'd rather save that image on my hard drive, which is Facebook icon. And now what I'm going to do is I'll upload that to Watto, because if I do that, I know it's always going to be available. So I'm going to insert an image. I'm going to upload that from my computer. It's the Facebook icon. I'm going to select to insert that. It's a bit big at the moment, so again, you know, I'm going to size that down to whatever size I want the icons. I also want to space that off to the right a little bit. Remember how we do that? I'll put some space to the left there. I want to get it aligned a little bit more with the center of that. And, you know, I can play around now and add Twitter and the other guys as well. So let's save that lot and have a view. And there we go. It looks to me like although I set that style in here inside the table to be the same font size as the default size, that it's adopted some different styling from the table. We know that that styling isn't very good in terms of line height. We couldn't get the table line height, or row height rather. It looks to me also like the standard bullet doesn't align with the center of the text, so there's an alignment thing that we could do with there. I've got a space problem with the proof and the images. Down here it's not too bad. Down here it's not too bad. So I can go back and fix those problems other than the things that are missing there. I can cheat here. I can push that up. I can push that up using image spacing, or I can do as I've just done there to push the space up there. We could also align this to start with the top of the so oops, that's not the one I want. I want the top. I want to line that so that that starts at aligns top of the stuff there. Let's put a YouTube video in there. I'll just select one of the first ones that comes along. Look at that improvisation on the guitar. Perfect. Copy that URL, drop it in here, And hey presto, that's got me done there. Final save and view. There we go. Get that puppy.